Hi there, I'm going to do a video here real quick on raising ride height on the front. This happens to be an 80s control arm off an 80s car I ran. And this will work on just about any vehicle that has an A-arm with a spring pocket. I call it jacking the spring out. I'll show you what you do here. If you look back here, you can see this groove is where the spring was supposed to sit. That's where it was. Now if you're lucky, sometimes when you're doing this, I got these bolts welded back here to hold it in place while I welded the front. Yeah, some people say you can just bolt it in. I never had much luck with this bolt in, it always slides out. But if you're lucky, when you're doing this, the little tag, the tang, which is this piece here, will fall down in the hole where the shock is. So what you're trying to do is move the spring from here to there and get it up tight against the shock, which this does not have a shock in it, but you get the idea. And what you'll do is, this one is as far as you can go, because you can actually get it way up here. And I've actually tack welded it here and welded it solid here, so I can just reuse these. If you can't weld them, I was thinking maybe an idea to do, if you can figure out where to put it, maybe you could just run a U-bolt over here and a U-bolt over here and bolt it in for the places that say you're allowed to bolt stuff in. We're allowed to weld our springs in, so this is one of the tricks we do. They don't really want you to use this idea, it's just bending the rules. And one of the ways you do it, this bumper stop here works perfectly. You'll get two long pry bars, preferably like the 3-foot, 4-foot tire irons. Get this part up first, and then with the second pry bar, get in here along the stop that's used in the factory spindle stop with the wheel turned that way out of the way. Works perfect because you can get under the spring, use this to pry, and you can pop it up here. Like I said, if you're lucky, a lot of times that tang, if it's turned the right way, will fall in the hole and hold it. Otherwise, yes, there's a lot of spring pressure here. It's going to want to pop in. I've ran them bolted in and just had them pop right back in, so now I weld them. The reason this works is what you're doing is you're artificially changing the spring rate. Actually, what you're doing is changing the lever point. Because if the spring was mounted way back here, the ride would be real soft. Same spring, different scenario. It's just leverage. If the spring was way out here, farther, it's harder to just collapse that spring and the suspension gets that much stiffer. So doing this combined with pulling out your bump stops on the upper control arm, so the upper control arm can drop farther, will raise your suspension height. Other than that, you know, sometimes a longer shock will help, but you know, the control arm can only drop so far, shock can only extend so far. But basically this is what they call by jacking the spring out of the pocket. So hopefully that'll help you out. Like I said, it'll work on any type of car that has a spring pocket. Just try and move it from here to there, change the leverage point, and your front end will be much higher and also much stiffer. Thanks, see ya.